Hi, and welcome to Danny After Dark. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a notification or a new episode. Tonight is the weekly True Crime and Chill. Beckham will be joining later. And yeah, I got Loki here. He is being a little bit of an attention seeker right now. So I was like, all right, if you want attention, let's give you all the attention you want. So yes, this is Loki, which you have seen before. Oh, okay, now you don't want attention. Cat mom life. I do have two other cats in here right now, so I think they might kind of make an appearance behind the cat scratcher. They're on one of the other cat trees. So anywho, hey everybody, it is finally the weekend, and I don't know about you, but it has been a long week, and I'm really excited just to kind of hang out with you guys and kind of chit chat about what has been happening. Because a lot. Honestly, the way the week started with true crime news, I was like, I think I could do a show like Monday night. There's already so much, but nonetheless, here we are. So if you guys missed the shows that I did earlier this week, please go back and check them out. They are both two extremely important cases, two very important families who are trying to get word out about in both cases here, their daughters. So earlier in the week was Dr. Maggie, the mother of Brittany Phillips. I had Beckham on for that because we got to spend a lot of time with Maggie at CrimeCon. She was the booth next to me. And then last night we had Vanessa and Joe Trussell, the parents of Megan Trussell. So they are trying to look into just getting the information about what happened to their daughter. And I put all of the information and the links there, and I pinned a couple of links in the comments video of the show. There was the GoFundMe link that they referenced, as well as the petition. So please, everybody, check that out. Check out both episodes, both amazing families. Again, just trying to get answers of what happened to their daughters. So definitely tune into that. Other than that, in regards to anything you need to know for me, all of the information is in the drop-down bar below. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, email, merch, which I was just like, you know what? I'm just feeling comfy vibes tonight. So I figured I'd wear one of my Danny After Dark shirts and just kind of relax. So all of that, again, is information down below in the drop-down bar. Book club. Reminder, book club will be the last Thursday of the month. I have mine right there, and I have already finished. And I'm almost done with my notes, and I'm really excited to talk about that. It is Trapped with Miss Arias, parts 2 and 3. So parts 2 and 3 are together in one book. So again, anybody's more than welcome to read it and be on camera with me, or if you just want to hear me just kind of go through my take about it and just kind of watch from the chat or watch after because you're not able to attend the live viewing, that is totally cool as well. So that will be, again, the last Thursday of the month. Let's see what other administrative stuff is going on. My new dance season starts next week. So in regards to show schedule, again, I will keep y'all posted. We'll see what pieces I want to put in for the season, which would then determine what nights I have dance. So we will see. So as of right now, I have technically, besides like the True Crime and Chill, like no shows planned. I have people in the works that will be coming on that I cannot wait to interview for you guys and have you learn more about them and what they do. But everything is kind of like, hold off until the 19th. I will know more on the 19th. So yeah, we will see. And as soon as I know more, I will let y'all know. Other than that, let's see. Albuquerque, there's been so much promotion for the Beyond the Crime Beyond the Crime convention, and I'm so excited. So if anybody is in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area and want to go to the Beyond the Crime convention, that will be in April, the weekend of I believe it's the 10th and 11th. I will be there. I will have a booth. So definitely check that out. And then in regards to if you are in the Las Vegas area, CrimeCon will be in May, the last weekend of the month. As of right now, I am just attending as a regular guest again, which would mean I'd be able to kind of see a lot of the panels. But we'll see. We'll see if that changes. So stay tuned. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff coming up. All right, I think I got all of that out of the way. How is everybody doing? How are y'all doing? Let's see what y'all are saying in the chat, and we'll kind of go from there. James Watson, first and foremost in the house. Tony Stewart, he beat you out. He beat you out. But hi, hope you are both doing well. Hello, Kane. Let's get this going. I started on time. The second the timer went, I was ready to go. So points for me for that for tonight. Yeah, see, Loki already trotted off. It's like one of those like, give me attention, give me attention, give me attention type of moments from a cat. And then you give them attention. They're like, no, I don't want this. Go away. Exactly what that is. Hey, Chris James. Hello, Karen Diamond. Good to see you. Let's see. Baseball playoffs, college football. I'm here. Must be getting old and soft. I mean, sports or Danny After Dark. Maybe just because I don't like sports, I'm just going to say Danny After Dark's the better choice. But honestly, hun, if sports is your vibe, like, go watch that, have fun, and then, yeah, tune into this later. Yeah. Lord knows Beckham skips this all the time in regards to when there's sports, and he's like my weekend co-host, so, you know. Hey, Tony L, good to see you. Beers, good to see you, hon. I hope you're doing well. I have missed a lot of your live streams. Like the times you go on, I'm not on, and I get the notification. I was like, oh, missed them. But I'm glad I got to pop in. What was it, a few weeks ago when you were live and say hello? Just quickly hello when I was tuning in to see how you were doing. So I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, hon. Let's see. Auntie Mimi in the house. Hey, Auntie Mimi. Hope you're doing good. I know, right? Everybody gets excited when Auntie Mimi's here. Let's see. Hey, K-Dog. Good to see you. Yes. So, let me get to that in a second. I'm so excited. Hey, Shelly. Thank you. You're so sweet. So me and Auntie Mimi are, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Mimi messaged me about going out on Halloween together. So we will be doing, and Mimi, please correct me if I mispronounce it, but it's a share show. So I don't know a ton about it. I've seen it on billboards when I'm driving. Like, oh, that's the one I'm going to with Auntie Mimi. But I love Cher. I saw her I was a freshman in high school. And they announced, Cher announced it was her farewell tour. So of course I'm like, oh my God, I can't miss her last show. So what year was high school for me? Let's see, I graduated in 99. So I think this was 1999, 2000-ish. And of course I got tickets, went to the Garden. Of course it's no longer called the Garden here. No, it was the Fleet Center back then. It was called the Fleet Center. It's the Garden now. Yeah, it was the Fleet Center. And I had balcony, and I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing Cher's last show. How many farewell tours has Cher had? And which is fine. I love Cher, but I was just like, of course, my 14-year-old mind, I'm like, oh my God, I can't miss her last show. Point being, me and Auntie Mimi on Halloween are going to a Cher, like a Cher Broadway-like show. But either way, we are dressing up for it. So yeah, of course I will get a selfie of me and Auntie Mimi and post it. My outfit, Auntie Mimi, I didn't even show Auntie Mimi yet. I ordered an outfit because I went through a bunch of like, should I wear this? Should I wear this? What should I wear? Of course I want to fit the Cher vibes. And I was not on the right track at first. Auntie Mimi was like, no, absolutely not. So I picked an outfit. And I really like it. And I ordered it and it came in. I have yet to try it on. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. One, hanging out with Auntie Mimi's a blast. Y'all know she's way cooler than me. And two, it's going to be Cher music. Like, how fun is that? So, anywho, end rant. But I don't even know, what night is Halloween? I think it's on it's on a Friday. So I wasn't even going to do a show that night anyway because, you know, everybody will be out having their plans, either trick-or-treating with your own kids or, just kind of giving out candy in the neighborhood. But I will be having a blast with Auntie Mimi. So that is that. Let's see. Okay, I'm a bit behind. All right. Well, yep. I'm glad you popped in, Shelly. Have fun with what you're doing around the house. Hey, Renee. We can flirt with Shelly too. Tony, you can flirt with. Okay, Beckham's gonna kill me. I say it's fine to flirt with Shelly even while Beckham's here, but he might feel different. I don't know, but I ain't hating it. Let's see. She's not there, but it's a musical of all her songs with Cher lookalikes. Right. Yeah, I knew Cher was not going to be there, and it would be either lookalike performers or what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a tribute type of thing. Either way, it's Cher music, and I was totally in. Totally in. Yeah. I honestly, he's not on the docket for tonight. We talked quite a bit about it last week, and I don't feel like a lot has really come out since. So in regards to more will come out, and we will definitely kind of be on top of it for then. But for now, I was just like, okay, nothing really not terribly happened in my opinion. But thank you for that update, Tony Stewart, because yeah, I didn't have him on the docket for tonight. Hey, Kat, good to see you. Oh my God, K-Dog. So honestly, my Google Doc for tonight is only 5 pages. That's it. It's usually so much longer. So there's only 4 cases I have for tonight to talk about. And whenever Beckham comes, he can pop on in. Yes, he's so full of it. I have not been doing a good job following up on that. Oh, on Mark Sanchez? Yeah, don't worry about it. So there's a couple of cases that I do kind of want to definitely discuss with Beckham being on here. But other than that, there's some that I know he won't necessarily cover. So if he's on here when we start it, that's fine. Again, there is so much going on in the true crime world in regards to a lot of ongoing trials or sentencing from trials that are just wrapping up, where I've been kind of keeping an eye on it, but they involve it's like, I don't know what the heck is going on right now in the world, but all of them are deaths of children, either babysitters, or sadly, a lot of them are the parents who are on trial for their children's murders. And I'm talking about little kids. So we will not be talking about that. And again, it's not that I'm not wanting to kind of represent all of what's going on in true crime, but I listen to y'all, and I know it's like one of those, it's just a tough subject for y'all to take. So I, out of respect, will not be covering those. But if that is something where you're like, no, I'm following it, definitely kind of keep an eye out for that to see what's going on, because there's a lot right now, and it's horrific. There has been, with some of the cases that are wrapping up, again, I won't get terribly into it, sentences are being given and people are being found guilty, which is, thank God. Thank God. Again, it is not justice in regards to bringing back the death of a child, especially when it's at their own parents' hands, but being found guilty and being sentenced and being held accountable is what else can we do right now? So that is that. So again, check all that out if you're wanting to go down that role of true crime news. So, oh no, Tish, you are totally fine. We are still just chatting. So good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Free the Beckham. Oh my gosh, you're going to get blocked. They're a hot mess, Tony, but thank you. So let's dive in, right? So to start, and there isn't a huge update, but if you are in the New England area, you are familiar with this case. Of course, when the news was breaking about this, me and the Liz were messaging back and forth, and we're just like, this piece of shit. Adam Montgomery. We have talked about his trial before. We have talked about his sentencing before. I won't get terribly into it. As a reminder, just brief overview. He was found guilty and sentenced for the murder. Let's put that out there again. Murder of his daughter, his young daughter, Harmony Montgomery. Harmony's remains have still not been found, but he has been found guilty and is in prison. So in regards to why he's making the news again right now. So if y'all remember, he didn't attend his trial. Yeah, no, he decided to not be there for his own trial. Like, when you talk about like a piece of shit, look him up. Horrible, horrible human being. And Harmony's mother, so her name is spelled Sorey. She had filed a lawsuit against Adam Montgomery regarding the death of Harmony. So Sorey had not had custody of Harmony at the time Harmony went missing and was murdered. So again, if you want to go down that kind of recap, definitely check that out to get a bit more of a context to the entire case if that's something that you missed when me and Beckham did that months ago. So she had filed a lawsuit against Adam, and a judge tossed it because she didn't serve the proper paperwork in like a timely manner, but it was mostly not serving and filing the proper paperwork. So we were just like, okay, when that news broke several weeks ago, it was like, okay, that sucks. But this happened last week, but at the tail end, so I didn't get it in time for the doc, but since it's New England related, I was like, no, we have to talk about it. So end of last week, a judge dismissed the wrongful lawsuit filed against Harmony Montgomery, filed from Harmony Montgomery against Adam. This week, a New Hampshire Supreme Court overturned that. So now the lawsuit is back on. Reminder, so he was sentenced to 56 years to life in prison. So yeah, he has nothing but time on his hands right now. And she will now be able to proceed with her lawsuit in court. The thing is, in regards to, and we've seen this a lot with when you bring someone to court and you, especially when they're behind bars, right? And you file a lawsuit against them. And let's say Harmony, I'm just playing, with an example here. Let's say the court ultimately rules that, due to Adam's actions, he has to now be awarding Harmony's mother, let's say, I'll just say $5 million or something like that, right? So many times, and we've seen this with a lot of cases, right? How do you get that from that person when they don't have the money? How do you get that from that person when they're in jail? And it's just one of those. So yes, it's on the books that he would have been found, civilly liable in regards to her lawsuit. We'll see where that ultimately goes. But in the end, especially again, if you're from New England and following this case, like anything against Adam Montgomery, it's like, let's just do it. Let's just go all in. Yes, and again, it involves Harmony and a child, so I won't go terribly into it tonight, but there needs to be some form of justice for Harmony. And again, just a little step. But yeah, when that broke, that the Supreme Court for New Hampshire overturned it, so the lawsuit was back on. I'm like, yes. So that is that in regards to the update for Adam Montgomery. Hey, Wolf, good to see you. Renee. Yeah, but then Renee was also Adam's wife, Crystal. So she knew, and she talk about a sweetheart deal. Like, my gosh, I get it. She provided a lot of information to law enforcement. I still think they could have gotten that information and given her a bit more of a punishment because then she was let out early too. And it's like, what the heck? So, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, Renee, it's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oh, for Christ's sakes. You can trust your car to the man that wears the store. God. So that is that with Adam Montgomery. So we will see what happens in regards to this lawsuit. All right, next. Oh God, Beckham's not here, so where do I go? All right, I want to talk about Luigi Mangione. Little bit of an update. When I saw this news article, I was like, all right, I got to look into this. I got to look into this. You know, speaking of looking into things and trying to do a proper job, that requires one to be responsible and on top of it, and most importantly, on time. Hi, Beckham.
What is up, Danny? Happy Friday night.
Yeah, 21 minutes late. How you doing, Beckham?
I'm sorry.
No, it's you. I mean, you came in clapping, ready to go. So I don't know how your day went. We haven't chatted about that, but you know.
What are you wearing tonight? What is that?
My Danny After Dark shirt.
Oh, okay. I was like, it looks like it. I don't know.
Yeah, just because I'm wearing a t-shirt with a candle doesn't mean it's about Beckham.
Exactly.
There's
Stop
more
trying
to
to copy
life
me
than Beckham. Yeah, well, I'm with you right there. There he is,
the president of CrimeCon. Thank you, Wolf. Thank you so much. And
Wolf.
It's kind of, hey, when things fly off the, go off the shelves pretty fast, like my stickers did, there goes something to say about that.
I don't know if you paid Wolf to type this comment in or if he's typing it on his own. And if he's typing it on his own, I'm really concerned and we'll probably time him out very soon.
He's probably he's had a good week and a good Friday night. He's enjoying himself tonight.
Yeah, they're the president of CrimeCon. Oh,
that should be. I could direct everybody to where they need to go.
Oh, in Vegas? Are you kidding? You can direct a lot of people. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
If I could get a video in Vegas of you and Dr. Maggie just going down the strip in her vehicle, yeah. I don't know who would cause more trouble in Vegas, you or Dr. Maggie. Dr. Maggie's a good time. She's amazing. I love her. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah. And I know she can just like whip you into shape. So I'd be all for it. All for it. No, yeah, James, anytime I talk about Luigi in regards to his female fans and all that, I'm like, it's Ted Bundy 2.0. We've been here. And
I already told you what's going to happen with him. I'm right. I told you a month. How long ago has it been? Like 3 weeks ago?
Talked about him in several weeks.
Yeah, it's been about three weeks ago or so when we got back from CrimeCon. But I told you what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be happy with the decision.
To me, it's not until it's done. It's not. There's so many wrenches that could be thrown in this that with picking.
But that's where they're going. That's where they're going. And if Diddy can get 1 year, 2, or whatever, this guy can get like life.
I mean, you know what?
Get me started on Diddy.
Yeah, if we want, the justice system has been failing quite a bit lately with some let's not get into that. But all right, what is the news with Luigi this week? Let's just kind of break that down. So his defense team asked the judge to dismiss some criminal charges brought against him in the federal indictment. The thing is that one of the charges that they're wanting to get dismissed is the one where he's facing the death penalty. So again, the defense attorneys, they're doing their job, right? So they are stating, the defense, that the police did not read Luigi his Miranda rights before questioning him and searching his backpack before obtaining a warrant. Therefore, they are also asking the judge to bar the state from using statements that he made to the police before he was arrested. This also includes evidence found in his backpack, including, as we all know, the gun and ammunition. So, Beckham, what do you think about this with his defense team trying to get this tossed? What are you thinking?
I think shoot for the moon, man, and just see kind of where everything just falls or stacks back right up again, because I've already told you guys that's what they're going to go for. Mm-hmm. And it looks like the judge could probably be somebody that's just going to make everybody happy, so that it just another case goes, and then the next one comes around. So, and it's kind of evident from what happened with Diddy 2 weeks ago. It wasn't last. It was 2 weeks ago, right? I believe it was
Yeah, I believe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So, 2 weeks ago. So, man, I'm telling you, just that's gonna set the. I bet it's gonna kind of set this up. And I mean, I get it. I know what happened. We know it's all broken down. But him just getting the life sentence is gonna make everybody happy. He's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life. He'll have his fans. He'll have his girlfriends or whatever, and it's public's gonna be happy. He's gonna be happy. The judge will just be like, "Look, you got life. All right, let's move on." And if
In
that's
regards to the public being happy, I think this case is one of those.
I'm talking about like his fan base.
Well, I'm thinking his fan base thinks the only way they'll be happy is if he's acquitted and walks out of there.
No, they're come on. You got to be realistic. But
I am being realistic.
No, yeah, but I just think
there are people who are rational and can think the way you're doing with, like, you know what, based on what he did, he's not getting the death penalty, but
right.
this. But then there's
he could get it. He could, but I think that's what I know. I mean, I think that his team's gonna shoot for, like I said, the sky, the stars, or whatever, and then it's gonna be brought down, and that's what they're really going for.
See, when I read this, what I wondered, and if you feel differently, please let me know, and y'all in the chat, let me know what you think too. Well, for David Ward, rookie mistake. You always drop the weapon at the scene. But I wondered if they were trying to get this tossed, and if the judge doesn't toss it, then could the defense team then try to approach the state for a plea to get life instead of the death penalty?
There you go. Yeah, I'm there with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was my kind of thought with
it.
Like, let's try this, and then our backup plan will be this. I can't imagine them.
Because you're trying to say, look, oh my God, you guys are nuts. You think he's just gonna walk? No. And then they're like, oh, okay, let's just let's go, let's meet right here. And you wanted this, but but you know what? I'll meet you here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they really want behind closed doors. We're like, man, look, you're not gonna, let's go here. We want you. We want this because that's the best scenario for you, and that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Okay.
And I told you that 3 weeks ago.
Beckham, I don't listen to you. In one ear, out the other.
Whatever it was. Before Diddy.
I know.
Instead of before Christ, before Diddy.
So James says he's still in custody and his fans are furious. James, I will get to the rest of this. On the one hand, I'm like, I hate that you use the word fans, but like,
look at James's point. That's what I'm talking about. I think his fans
would prefer him to be in jail forever, and their sick minds still have him all to themselves. And that goes back to
great point, James.
Yeah,
that's a great point, James. That's a star. You knocked it out of the park. That kind of comes back around to my point. So,
hybristophilia. I did an episode on that. God, what was it? 1.5 years, maybe 2 years now, and
then he'll be like the reference point to like, look, he really meant to do something good, except and then somehow they, in their own mind, it's like it's a twist of reality, right? With a little bit of conspiracy.
The defense uses that argument of he tried to do something good.
And there's a twist of reality with some sprinkle of conspiracy there and all that. And so in some people's minds, it's like, oh man, like he was doing something good.
Mm-hmm. Renee says, just like Wade Wilson. They'll all forget about KJ.
No, I don't think he's got a big following, man. No. How much he raised a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm. Scott Peterson still had a lot of years later, and then it was Chris Watts for years, and now it's Luigi. And it's so sad that it's like all these hybristophilia. Go check out my episode when I talk about it. It's a whole thing.
I told you.
It's a whole thing. But that's a good point, James. That is a good point. But I do still stand by that. I think there could be a good amount of people that think like, no, he needs to walk. Either he didn't do it or he did the right thing.
I can go. I'll go there with you. I'm pretty sure there's a there's a good amount of his fans that want him completely out. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that are just out of touch with reality. But you know what? I
But they'll get the
more
next
right than
best.
me, dog,
But
but I don't think
Danny,
so.
then they'll get the next best thing. They'll have him around forever, or for the rest of his life.
Oh God, it's interesting.
But seriously though, do you remember when they brought him to New York and everything, and the way they
They paraded him.
it looked like it honestly looked like a movie.
That was
Like
very
like
intentional.
a scene from a movie.
But it's what I hate to say the media, but it's what people wanted to see. And it's just because I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Like, I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to see him. So to read, like you said, like, oh, his GoFundMe or whatever platform that his supporters are using, oh, it raised this amount of money. You know what? Really? That's news. Like, I wish we didn't have to go there. But that's what our society is now, which is horrible. So James, I will say you will, 100%. Like the defense will use it and the prosecution because there's pros and cons to both. The sad thing is though, it's not even about that, James. I get what you're saying, but it's so weird because I hate to use, and the only reason this case came to my mind because somebody commented on it today, by when I had Nick Schreck on in regards to Richard Ramirez.
Oh, he had a big following. Or not, I don't know if he had. I don't know if he had a big following, but he had a following, right?
When his trial started.
Yeah.
But and one of the points I made to Nick was like, Richard Ramirez was out. He was a regular citizen. Women were not flocking to him then. You put him behind bars, you cuff him, you have him do this trial, and now all of a sudden it takes on a different thing. And
Man, I remember he walked in with his hair made. He had his hair
the pentagram.
Yeah, he had to stay allowed to wear sunglasses. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah. Which, how many decades ago was that? And still people are so fascinated with watching but we'll see what happens with Luigi's case. So again, we'll keep an eye on it, but that was kind of the new thing this week. And again, his defense team, they're doing their job. But it's kind of like, you read it and you're like,
you got to go through the steps, man, but you know what they want. You know what they want, and they're going to get it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, K-Dog, absolutely. So 2 more.
It's just like some people like the Joker character in Batman kind of thing,
Okay, interesting that you brought in superheroes with this and a comic. I will say Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Well, Batman.
But I like Mark Hamill. So there's that. That's the only way you could get me to watch a Star Wars thing. There was one movie. Okay, back. I'm just a little side tangent. What Star Wars movie was it? Oh my God, this is going to show I'm not into this. With the girl, the newer girl, and she was training on an island, and Mark Hamill was in it at the very end for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's one of the sequels.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah,
with Ray. Yeah.
Ray, that's her name. Yep. I went and sat in that theater just to get that 2 minutes of Mark Hamill. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, where is he? Okay, this is like a 3-hour movie. Okay, where is he?
But he's oh my God, dude. Did you not watch The Mandalorian? When he's like the younger version for like a quick episode?
I do not.
See him they took Mark Hamill and they kind of did a younger CGI version of him for like a quick, I don't know, the scene might have been 10 minutes, but it was really cool. You need to go watch that.
Maybe I can find just that clip online so I don't have to go through the whole damn thing.
Yeah, you can just find the clip.
All right, James is The Force Awakens.
Wait for it.
All right, thank you. His wife doesn't even get 2 minutes of Mark Hamill. Stop it. James, that is so bad. Not cool. Not cool. But yeah. Okay. So that's my Mark Hamill little side.
You know what? I do forget that he does play the Joker in the Batman animated series.
He does.
That's actually a pretty good animated series or cartoon, whatever. Series.
That's my favorite version of the Joker as well. And again, I'm not like terribly into it or snobby when it comes to comics. Like, some people are. They're very particular.
I think the Joker is voted the #1 villain out of all
Well, look at that. I prefer Joker over Batman, but then again, Mark Hamill played him, so there's that. Yeah, and then oh god, one more side tangent, and then we'll get back to true crime, folks. When I was in high school, oh my god, do you remember? And I look back and I cringe. It was the Batman movie that had George Clooney as Batman and Chris O'Donnell as Robin.
That was terrible.
And I remember being at, what was it, like FYE? It was like one of those record stores that like all the high schoolers and middle schoolers went to get like CDs and cassettes and posters and like all that fun stuff. And they had a poster of, I still can picture it. It was George Clooney as Batman and Chris O'Donnell as Robin. And
it was Batman. It was called Batman and Robin when it had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. And
yes.
Chris O'Donnell as Robin, Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl.
And Poison Ivy was Uma Thurman.
Yeah, Uma Thurman. Yeah, dude, that was terrible. They literally put these weird nipples on Batman's like outfit.
Yes, and I look back and I'm like, what was I thinking? Being like, oh my god, this is a cool poster. I have to have it. No idea. No way. I can still picture that poster and like where it was. It was on my closet door, so I had to like look at it every day to open my. Oh my god, so ridiculous, so ridiculous. All right.
Well, you had the movie poster.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why I thought it was the coolest thing and I had to buy it.
Oh my! Was it the nipples on Batman's outfit?
That was visible in the post. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You know what? If that was like one of the worst mistakes I ever did as a child growing up, buying that poster, then I mean, come
on. I don't know. I just looked up the movie poster and all it's like these nipples are just like Nicholson. Yeah, Nicholson played a good Joker.
Anyway, getting back off now that I'm losing like over 13 people watching because I started talking about comic books. Let's get back on track. Ooh, where do we go now? Ellen Greenberg and Donna Adelson. They're the next ones up. So let's go with Ellen Greenberg. So Vanessa and Joe Trussell, who I had on last night, Vanessa actually referenced this case last night. So it was the Ellen Greenberg case. And Vanessa had referenced it in regards to having like another independent look in another look at.
Oh, I saw that. Didn't something come out this week or last week on this that they made another ruling? Yeah.
Oh god.
They made another ruling on it.
Yeah. So if you've been following the Ellen Greenberg case, this has been since 2011. Again,
I didn't know it was that long ago though.
January 26, 2011. She was 27 years old. Deep dive this case if you have not been following it. I have a book about it that I got at CrimeCon that I still need to read. It's over there, and I cannot wait to read it and share it with y'all. But so just to give like the tiniest little backstory here. So she was found dead, again, January 26, 2011, by her fiance that she shared an apartment with in Philadelphia. His name's Sam Goldberg. Sam has never been a suspect or even charged with any crime. During the 911 call, Sam told the dispatcher he saw a knife sticking out of her chest. But if you look at what the autopsy and the findings say about her body and her stab wounds and their rule, it just doesn't make sense. So she was in the kitchen making a salad. The autopsy shows she was stabbed at least 20 times, including in the neck, the back, the head, and the heart. at least 11 bruises
Mm.
all over her body in various stages of healing. So shortly before Ellen's death, she had sought. So here's the thing, they say sought medical help for anxiety. And I'm not saying anxiety and depression and all of that isn't something to take serious, because it absolutely is. But to like put it out there like, oh my God, she was seeking treatment for anxiety. It's like everybody, a lot of people do, a lot of people. So I think that kind of kicked things into like, oh, well, see, maybe she did take her life. So the initial ruling was a homicide before it became changed to a suicide weeks later. The coroner has changed it several times. And it's like, are you kidding me? It's so out of the norm, right? So Ellen's parents are just like, this is ridiculous. They went to court, and in a court settlement, the Philadelphia Medical Examiner's Office agreed, and this was February of this year, they agreed to review Ellen's manner of death again. The thing is, and this is one of the things that Vanessa brought up last night, was it was the same coroner who has changed it multiple times did the look again, where it really should have been an impartial, a different person, but nonetheless. So the thing is, it was confirmed again by this coroner that he's still saying it was a suicide. So again, look up this case, look up her stab wounds, her everything. It does not line up with a suicide. When you're going to commit suicide, you don't try to stab yourself in the neck and in the back. It's just, it does not make sense. And again, Sam has not been charged, which, and if you go down that rabbit hole in regards to his role, his family's role with what happened after, it's alarming. And the Greenbergs are fighting. I mean, they're in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt trying to get justice for their daughter.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's so sad. So when this, I know I'm talking a lot here, and I'll pipe down a second. When this was ruled again a suicide, the true crime community, it was like, are you kidding me? Y'all, Joseph Scott Morgan from the podcast Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan, he was a medical examiner for years and years and years. He has done thousands upon thousands upon thousands of autopsies. He has talked about this case ongoing as things have progressed. Go to his Instagram, and he does a quick little video reacting to this latest, and it is so spot on. You know what? Actually, let me play it for you guys. Let me bring it up. But as I'm pulling it up, Beckham, what is your thoughts on this?
I mean, I've looked at this case before. I've looked at this case before. A lot of the, just a lot of the crime scene doesn't match the physical to the to her, what happened with her, right? So you start looking at different things when you start looking into it. There could have been like two or three suspects that they could have gone after, maybe. Was she, I don't know. I think man, it's been a while, but was she followed home, that kind of thing?
The door was locked.
Yeah.
The door was locked, bolted.
Right.
And part of what Sam's thing is, part of his story was he had to kick down there's a lot to it, and
there's a lot that just doesn't make any sense, even for the non-trained professional looking into it, right? So it's like, man, I don't know. Sometimes you're just like, oh, because you're thinking, okay, they're gonna come back around and they'll look again and they'll re-examine, maybe get a different source, compel something new. But this was kind of shock. I mean, it's been a long time. But when I saw the news hit earlier this week, I was like, wow, I remembered the case. So just like me, I mean, just like everybody else, I feel the same way. There's just, and it's
Yeah.
unfortunate that you can't have an independent, what do you call those? Like
An independent autopsy.
right. Or just have another higher,
Coroner, medical examiner.
just a higher source, right? Come and look over everything, especially if you have somebody that has not done very adequate work in their profession.
That's what
So
blows my mind.
yeah,
They
I don't know those laws and policies. I'm not in that realm of my job, but you would think that you could have, somebody at least new come around. But then
apart,
again, again is the law enforcement entity protecting itself from getting. There's a lot that can go happen, man. There's a lot that they want to protect, right? The integrity. They feel they're protecting their integrity. They feel that they need to protect, how they did things.
and if that's
Um,
the whole thing too, if you look at how law enforcement handled the scene,
yeah, right.
mm-mm.
So that's probably. I'm just gonna be honest. That's probably what it is, and it's unfortunate because you
Well,
have.
and Sam has, I believe it was his uncle is an attorney, so he
Yeah,
has family ties, and he called his uncle while he was there. It's this whole thing. It's a whole thing.
yeah.
Um, but all I'm thinking is the parents had to, at the Greenbergs had to fight to get this to court to get another look, and they were successful. And then they have the same coroner who switched it several times be the one to re-look at it and be like, oh, yep, see, like I said, suicide. And it's like, what? Are you kidding? Why did the Greenbergs have to go through that? Why? Like, you give them this little bit of hope that, you know what? Yes, I'm going to. All right, I found the clip. Let me play it. Again, this is Joseph Scott Morgan from the podcast Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan. So let me just make sure I get the volume up.
Many of us are shocked, surprised over this because none of us really saw this coming. I mean, I don't guess we should be surprised, right? Because, you missed one manner of death there. There's five. You've got suicide, accidental, you got homicide, you got undetermined, you got natural. They also visited undetermined in this case for a bit. And guys, I got to tell you, I worked for the coroner in New Orleans. I worked for the ME in Atlanta as a senior investigator. Fellas, I have never, in the totality of my career as an academic and also as a practitioner in the field, I've never seen somebody jump to three of the different manners. We've only got five to choose from. So over the course of all these years, they vacillated between all three of these at one point in time or another.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, let's see. They've said, hey, this is what happened, right? They reaffirmed everything. I don't know what could be reviewed or if this.
Let me add this one other thing.
There's a civil suit probably, but I don't know how old that is.
So if anybody's thinking, you know what, maybe one of the stab wounds that Ellen received to her spinal column when it was investigated, it was determined it was a post-mortem stab wound. So let's think about this again. How did the coroner, with all the stuff we've talked about before, and look at that and go suicide? Stabbing yourself in the back of the neck and the back to commit suicide? Come on. One of the stabs, a brutal one, was post-mortem. Post meaning after death.
There's the science right there.
But the
I don't.
coroner's ruling it
It's
a
mind-boggling,
suicide.
man. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. So
I can't even imagine what the like the frustration of, because the average, again, and we're not trying to, I'm not trying to say I'm smarter than a coroner or Beckham years. It's not that. It's, if anybody who doesn't even have training in this can hear that and go, that doesn't make sense. Come on. I don't know. I don't see the Greenbergs just ending their fight to get justice for their daughter, Ellen. I don't know what will happen from here. We will see. Again, this has been a case I've been following for so long. And I do have that book. I already know it's going to be amazing. I've seen amazing reviews on it, and we'll talk about it when I do a book review on that. But yeah, this was a crazy thing that happened this week.
So real quick,
Yeah.
before we go, so this is what they said, that I know you talked about it here. There was no sign. Well, there was no signs of an intruder. The apartment door was locked from the inside. And she had no defensive wounds to indicate she fought off an attack. That's what police have said. I mean, you've already covered the number of stab wounds, the bruises. It's almost like, well, how would you? Well, right. I mean, you're talking about what was his name? Mark? Sam.
There was a window, I think it was like 90 minutes, where he went to the gym and came back. So this was a small time frame.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's the one who called from inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells 911, or he tells the 911 operator that he's like, well, she's the knife is sticking up, whatever. He's like, oh my God, she stabbed herself. Who in their right mind would sit there and think that they stabbed them? Like if I gotta come home and there was like somebody who got stabbed with, had a knife in them, I wouldn't think, oh, you stabbed yourself. Like, I'd be like, what happened? I'd be like looking around to protect myself from an attacker, right? Like, is there somebody hiding in the closet? Is there somebody hiding in the bathroom? He goes and literally goes, it looks like she stabbed herself right off the bat. And then that's odd to me. 1, 2, he also goes on to tell the operator, she fell on the knife. Who falls on a knife?
Yeah. All right, so Beckham, let's go with that. If you fell on a knife, how would you have at least 20 stab wounds?
Right. He's like, the knife is sticking out. There's a knife sticking out of her heart. And even the operator says, oh, she stabbed herself? Like what? I guess so. I don't know. Or she fell on it. I don't know. Dude, that is so suspect. How are you gonna fall on a knife? Like, I mean, you could trip. I guess if you're holding it and you tripped and you fell, right? But that would the knife would be like, I could see you cutting yourself, right? Like, you're falling, you're like, oh man, you're trying to catch yourself. You could cut your arm or your hand. You could stab yourself, I guess, but like it's towards an angle, not like, it wouldn't be like a straight on, like he's describing. It's physics here, man. Right? I mean,
I just want to reiterate. Sorry,
it's like you give yourself a knife, you give somebody a knife, they're gonna stab themselves, and they stab themselves right square in the back of their middle of their back. Like, they can't physically put enough torque and do it, right? And it does not make any physical, like, mathematical sense of that happening.
Mm-hmm. Tell that to the coroner. If she fell on a knife, 20 stab
it would probably be like a separate, it would probably be at an angle or something. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been in that area where it was.
Right. In the area where he was stabbed. Neck, back,
You're
heart.
right. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
How
This
did
dude,
she fall on a knife and get all of those?
it's been so long that I looked into this. But I mean, like, look at even the operator is questioning him, like, she stabbed herself. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
It's on the audio, of course, but you can probably, if you heard the audio, you could probably hear the like she stabbed herself,
Her tone, yeah.
her tone, right?
Yeah. And again, the stab wound to her spinal column, that was such a horrific stab, it was post-mortem.
That's another thing there.
So
Yeah, how do you make sense? How do you make sense
nothing
of
makes
that?
sense. It's so frustrating. When I heard the ruling, I'm like, that's not right. And then when I heard who did it was the initial coroner, I'm like, there it is. There it is. They just
This
had
is why
to
the Luigi Manginis exist, man.
Oh God.
Because that guy, if she had the right family, probably wouldn't be walking still.
But
If she had the right family.
The Ellen Greenberg case, again, if anybody's unfamiliar with it, again, there's a lot of different kind of avenues to look at, but no matter which one you look at, it's just very clear that the ruling that they said it doesn't line up with her injuries and what happened.
When there's these odd cases where it's like it, I don't know, but see this, there is nothing here. It's like like I said, you don't have to be a professional to know, to like see that it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's questionable here, right? So I'm sure it happens. There's a lot of things that happen daily, and it's almost like, well, if it's too hard to explain, or we only get to a certain point, we can't prove it after we have all this information, evidence, it's almost like, oh, it's a suicide, we'll just call it a suicide and move on to the next one. So it's almost like, it's like they're half-assing it, dude.
Well put. Maybe just hoping that the parents will not raise as much of a fuss as they are.
And then you got to move to the next one, because there's, of course, murder after murder, and it happened. There's other cases, I get it, but this one, like, come on, man, like the science, like the coroner's office,
Yeah. People are outraged, rightfully so.
And sometimes you can't blame, like, the detectives might have their hands tied behind. They might not be able to go anymore. They were told to stop, move to the next one.
Man, they didn't handle it properly.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not saying this particular one. I'm just saying sometimes that happens.
So I've talked about, and this is related, I promise, Dr. Michael Baden. I have several of his books. I've done those book reviews. He was a medical pathologist, coroner for years, decades in his career. And one of the things he talks about in his book is, and I've talked about this when I've done the book reviews, is he got a lot of shit for not being one of the team in regards to if law enforcement saying, here. And he's like, no, the evidence doesn't show that. The autopsy do not support what you're saying happened. And a lot of the time he was saying it was one of those, well, you're supposed to be part of the team. When he's like, no, the coroner or forensic pathologist is supposed to be, the medical examiner is supposed to be independent. When they're supposed to look at what the body in the autopsy shows, not all the X, Y, and Z that the cops are saying, kind of throwing in there. We think this, we think that. No, let the body, let it speak for itself. And he got a lot of shit for not, and he ultimately got demoted from one of the jobs he had because he wasn't being a team player. So this very much kind of, to me, screams this as well as being one of the team. And suicide. It's like, no. But
I don't know if, I don't know if they're going to be able to go revisit it or redo everything after this decision came out this week.
that I was thinking that too. I'm like, where do the Greenbergs go next? I
Mhm.
don't see them just sitting quiet and saying, okay, we've done all we can. I don't see that. But I don't know what the next step is either. So we'll keep y'all posted because I don't think this will be the last we hear of Ellen Greenberg in her case. But it was just, again, frustrating to read that this week. So the last case of the night to talk about, Donna Adelson. She had her sentencing on Monday, and Monday was the holiday. So I was home and got to listen and watch it. I had Court TV pulled up on my phone. It was just... Beckham, did you happen to see the sentencing or hear it or no?
On Donna?
Donna Adelson this past
No.
Monday?
I might have seen it, but I didn't look into it.
Okay. No, that's fair. I was just curious. So she was found guilty, Donna, at her trial recently, and the sentencing was Monday. It was, if you missed it, go back and check it out. Watch it, listen to it. So at first there was several character references, character speeches, or people came up, like Donna's husband spoke. There were a lot of letters of support saying, like, this is not the Donna that we knew. She's always been loving and helpful and so on and so forth. Trying to, defense is clearly trying to paint her as a sympathetic, kind woman, not someone who was found guilty for conspiring and organizing to kill her son-in-law. So Donna's husband spoke, and
What did he do to her?
Who, Donna's husband?
No, the son-in-law.
Oh God! Long story short, so there are other people. Donna's the fourth person to be tried and found guilty. So one of her sons, Charlie Adelson, is in jail, and two other people who participated in this murder hire plot to kill Professor Dan Markle, who was dead. So who was murdered. So Donna's, the briefest of nutshells, Donna's daughter, Wendy, married Dan. They were splitting. Wendy wanted to take the kids to a different part of Florida. Dan said no, he wanted to be in the kid's life.
I'm telling you.
Say, we'll give you $1 million, go away. And he's like, no, I don't want the money. I want my kids. And they hired somebody to...
I'm telling you, I've seen these battles between families about, oh man, it can get really bad. Not like murder, but...
And Donna tried to flee the country. And
yeah, okay, I remember now, because that kind of... Yeah. We've talked about this before, okay.
We have.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen families go like this, man. Like where there's kids involved in the divorce, and they're little, and then both families will just go to war, right? And it's like, oh man, is it really worth? Like seriously, is it really worth all of this mess? You've made it. Yeah, it's just, oh my God.
People don't think of their kids because
but I've seen. I mean, not to this level, but I've seen it, man. For
oh gosh, fighting over custody.
Oh yeah, it can get really bad.
Yeah. Well, in this case, very, very bad. And a jury of Donna's peers found her guilty in organizing to kill her son-in-law, Dan Markell. So again, one of the things that the judge is going to be looking for from all of these statements from family, friends, people who've known Donna herself, who did speak and got the opportunity to speak, and we'll get to that, folks. The judge is looking for remorse, looking for, I take accountability, something so that when the judge hands down his or her sentence, they're taking that into account, right? So there were several character letters that some of the people did not show in regards to, they just gave the letter to the defense team, and the defense team read those letters. Donna's husband was there, and he read a statement. He blasted, Donna is innocent. You're putting an innocent woman in jail. And The husband went as far as to say, there was a biased jury and a biased judge, and went on and on. And the judge actually stopped him and said, this is supposed to be a character thing about Donna, like, and you're ripping apart the jury, the judge, like, that's not helping. But then the judge continued to let him speak. And again, my wife's innocent, she's in all of that. But like, you're going to go up there and say, yeah, you were biased, judge, and he's the one that's going to be sentencing your wife. Not a smart move. Not a smart move. Donna spoke, and she cried, and she cried, and she cried. Yes, I'm using quotations. Cried. I didn't see real tears. I didn't see tears. It was just, she, again, did this. She's innocent. It wasn't her. She had no knowledge of what was going to take place. She said if she knew it, she would have stopped it. And she kept saying, Danny, I loved Danny. She was saying there were multiple people that organized this. She is not a part of that. She was innocent. And then she started to rehash the case and saying how the jury got it wrong and all of this. And she also said, where's my note here? There were two injustices that happened. Danny being killed, and then, quote, me, an innocent woman, being found guilty and sent to prison. She didn't mention anybody else, including her own son, who is behind bars for being found guilty and for being part of arranging this plot to hit and kill Dan Marco. But it was, Danny, I love Danny. And yeah, no. And then and the judge cut her off and said, the court can take into account your lack of remorse in your statement that you're giving. She paused for, I'll be generous and say 2 seconds. And then she just kept going. She's a victim. It was just, oh my God. The judge just gave you an opportunity to say, you know what? This isn't working. This is going to harm me. Let me stop and be sympathetic. Nope. Didn't do that. Mm-hmm. And then the defense tried to argue to the judge that you actually can't take into account her lack of remorse into her sentencing. So the judge called for a break and went back to look up the law, like cite different law examples. So Donna's defense team, they really fucked up, because what they were trying to argue was, I'm blanking the case. On Defense Diaries with Bob and Ali Mata, they did a live about it, and they pulled up the law, and it was like, well, wait a minute. They're citing a different type of, I think it was was it a death penalty case versus a non-death penalty? I forget, but the criteria is different. So here, I'm sure the defense is like, say what you want. They can't hold it against you. Meanwhile, actually, it turns out the judge can. Before I get to what the judge said, what is your thoughts so far on this, Beckham?
Dude, she's just way off her rocker, man. And she's 75, so I can say it. She's insane. She knows what she did. Mm-hmm. Her and her whole family. And I hope that, she got, we'll get to the sentencing here, but yeah. I mean, come on, man. Like, you, and again, I've seen this up close with people that I've known throughout my life. It can get really bad. And you've had, I've heard threats and stuff like that. And it just, there's no, I mean, you're going to just ruin the family even more than the struggles that the family is already going through. Mm-hmm. And it's just making it worse. The kids will see, the kids have seen a lot, man. Now, when they get older, as they get older, they're going to hear the stories, they're going to hear the nonsense, and they're going to hear all the negativity around it. And it's just a bad thing all the way around. And she was probably the nucleus for everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's one of, again, y'all, if you missed it, go back and check it out. It's online. It's on YouTube. You can find it. So when the judge came back
Yeah, she was
after,
probably she's the one that probably like caused everything. I mean, she and then
that's what they said. She was the ringleader
the
in
ringleader,
arranging
yeah,
this.
Nicholas about everything, man.
So when the judge came back and basically put the defense in their place, like actually, and again, the judge, very good judge, very fair judge. If you watch the trial, Donna's trial, very fair judge, in my opinion. So the judge kind of corrected the defense. Well, actually, no, I can use that, her lack of remorse, and here's why. So sentencing, right? The judge said these were, quote, these were not crimes of chance or opportunity. You can choose to deny your involvement even though the evidence is clear. He said much more, but to me, those were like the standouts. So count 1 of first-degree murder, Donna Adelson was sentenced to life without possibility of parole. Count 2, conspiracy, charged with sentenced to 30 years consecutive to count 1. So not concurrent, which means they will run back to back. So she has life without parole plus 30 years. Count 3, solicitation. She was given a sentence of additional 30 years. But this one is concurrent to count 2. So what that means is conspiracy, 30 years, solicitation, 30 years.
Yeah.
They can be concurrent, so meaning they run together at the same time. Together, those two are on top of life without parole.
She's never going to get out.
Yeah. She's never
She'll die there.
Does her defense team have the right to file an appeal? Yes. And they made it very clear in their statements that they will be filing an appeal. And that's her legal right to do so. So after that sentence was given, the court reviewed all the fees and costs that she has to pay. It was such a long, I didn't realize how long it was going to be, of like, oh, the fee for this, $50. The fee for this, $13. The fee for this, $500. And it was all over the place. But I'm like, $15 for this one, like.
Oh, court fees can get up there, Danny.
Yeah. One of the things that the defense team did request was that she live or be housed in a jail facility, prison that was closer to where she had lived so that her husband can visit her, but specifically also in a prison where Catherine McManawa is not housed. Catherine McManawa was also one of the people that was tried in this whole 4 people that were found guilty for the murder of Dan Markel, and they do not want Catherine McManawa in the same place as Donna for fear of what could happen to harm to Donna, or if Catherine has other inmates that are friendly with her and then try to attack Donna. They were like, no, let's just get a different facility. The judge did say, I will agree to that. When Donna was getting her sentence, when the judge said, here's what you're going to be serving, she just stood there, no tears, no speaking, no nothing. And then she got taken away in shackles. That is what happened with Donna Adelson this week.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye. You know how you hear that little
This will not be the last we hear of Donna Adelson. There will be more because Beckham, do you remember months and months and maybe a year ago, months ago, I forget, but the defense tried to get her out of prison or out of jail, like before the trial started, by saying she has narrow ear canals, so she has a lot of wax buildup. That was one of the arguments they tried to get her out.
I mean, I could see how a lot doesn't make sense to her. So maybe maybe they did have a point. Maybe she did have something between her ears.
It wasn't a brain. I need to get out because I have earwax. Okay.
She's just like one of those overbearing people in a family that we hear about all the time. Some of us have seen it, been through it, or have read about it, that just want they they have this, it ends up becoming like a hate, and they see what they see, and they just can't get beyond the fact that the kids have two sets of parents, or I'm sorry, have a set of parents and two sets of, families.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than working it out, being adults and things like that, they get they get malice, and they're vicious, and this hate. And sometimes, and I think somebody brought up in the chat, there was a case in Oklahoma where who was that? Yeah, K-Dog. Yeah, I remember that case too, man. They buried the body on their property or something like that. And yeah, I remember that case, hearing about it, because I was, at that time I was in Dallas, so it wasn't too far. But again, man, like the grandmother and the mom and that one too. So it's like, again, something happens where they feel like it's my family. I'm gonna do whatever I have to, type of thing. And these kids are my all that whole thing. And
Yeah.
it just becomes this. It just gets out of control, and then we end up with like where we're at, murder.
Yeah. Hey, Liz. So all I was thinking when this was happening was, so Dan Markel's family was there, and here they are having to listen to Donna give this, like, I loved Danny. There's an injustice. Him being murdered and me being found out. Like, having to listen to, I can't even imagine. I was just like, oh my God. They are having to sit there and quietly listen to the bullshit that is coming out of her mouth, the fake tears, that there's actually no water coming out of her eyes, no tears. And the thing is, thinking of their grandkids here, who have lost a father.
Yeah.
Their grandmother is in jail in prison the rest of her life for conspiring to kill their father. Their uncle, Charlie Adelson, also in prison for conspiring to kill their father. Like, who actually gave a damn about the kids? Like, I hate when people like, we did this for the kid. No, you didn't. You did not have those kids in mind. You sure as hell did not. Because look where they, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just horrible. It is horrible. Yeah, and again, Donna was the last person to be tried for this. Wendy Adelson, so Dan's ex-partner, has not been charged. I mean, there's a lot of like, did she know? Was she? I can't see her not knowing what her family was planning. It just but at the end of the day, she has not been charged. She has not been named a person of interest. So that's kind of where things are with that. But a little bit of justice for getting those who conspired to kill Dan behind bars. And yeah, Dawn is finally behind bars. The Pike County bunch. The Pike. Oh my God, that case. Wild. We haven't talked about that case a ton here. But that's been ongoing.
Pike County case. Pike County.
Yeah.
Does the Pike County have a fair?
The Pike County massacre. I can't even talk anymore tonight. Oh gosh. So, all right, folks. Yeah, so that was all of the cases that I have for tonight. Beckham, anything else? Anything else going on with you that you want to chat about? Or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, the King of Crime Con, so I've heard. Oh yeah, Liz, you missed that.
There's a lot of work to get done before the next Crime Con. I have work to do.
Translation, Danny, are you going to buy me more stickers to hand out? Yeah, Liz, Wolf came in the chat earlier and greeted Beckham as the king of Crime Con.
That's me.
I'm Chad
Lots.
Daybell, and I'm from Pike County. Oh my James Watson. You know what? I'll give you a star for that. How about that? I'll throw you a star. No news on the Chad Daybell newsletter. Oh, K-Dog, as much as it really broke my heart to not subscribe to that subscription.
I thought you were gonna do it. Didn't you say you were gonna do it?
No, I told you to do
You
it
were
and
gonna do
filter
it.
it to me.
I thought I forgot. Oh, that's what it was. I thought you were gonna do it. That's so
I know. I
funny.
think I'd get 2 sentences every week or whatever, however often and like just be furious. It's just like, dude. Oh, and when is he going to talk about the storm? You know, like I can't.
I can't with that case anymore.
Tony Stewart, I just had a close friend get convicted in Lawrence County, Ohio for an involuntary manslaughter this week.
Wow.
Tony, I have so many questions, but ugh.
Sorry. I mean, usually
That's-
that's something that's on accident or something. I don't know.
Wolf. All right, Wolf. Okay.
President of CrimeCon. That's right. Hey,
I
I need to get some
Wolf,
business. I need to get some like cards to give out.
Mr. Beckham business cards with the Danny After Dark QR code on the back.
There you go.
Yep. Yep, there it is. Look at the Grand Admiral of CrimeCon. Oh my God.
Just for
You know,
that,
Beckham,
James.
why don't you apply
Just for
a
that,
booth?
next week I will wear the jacket for everybody.
Lord help us all. Lord help us all. No, Shelly, don't condone this. All right, everybody. Before Beckham's ego gets too out of control, we're going to head out. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. In regards to my schedule next week, once I figure out what's going on with dance, we'll go from there. So in the meantime, everybody, have a great rest of your evening. And remember, until next time, we don't live in darkness. Darkness lives in us. Bye, everyone. And thank you, Beckham, for tonight. Bye.